make sure to check out stepaside.com for merch, because that's where it is. Stepaside.com, go now, that is where merch is. Okay, bye, enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's me, Step Aside. Today we're going to be talking about 21 Pilots, their new album, their new single, all of that sort of stuff. It's been a crazy couple of days for everybody in the 21 Pilots community. So, a couple days ago, their website called dmaorg.com, it updated to show a progress bar saying that the site would be terminated whenever the progress bar is finished. Of course, the entire clique, as the 21 Pilots fans are referred to as, why do I know this? Totally not a 21 Pilot fan. 21 Pilot fan? Not me. Definitely not me. That is not who I am. People were freaking out because this band has been silent ever since Christmas when they dropped their single, Christmas Saves the Year. And then before that, they dropped their single, Level of Concern, which was, about quarantine, when the whole the quarantine thing was like really, really big. And then before that, their last full-length LP was released back in 2018, Trench, and I really did like that album. I really did think it was a good album. But nevertheless, the clique is freaking out because we haven't heard from this band since around December, and this could definitely mean new music, especially because a few months prior, after Level of Concern was released, Tyler Joseph and Joshua Dunn together, the band 21 Pilots, they basically led the entire fan base on this wild goose hunt chase with codes and clues and secret images and downloaded files, only to announce international tour dates. That was the entire thing. It was just tour dates. That's all we got out of it. But it was this whole thing. So people started to freak out that this was going to be another Level of Concern thing. Thankfully it wasn't, okay? Here's why. So the progress bar updated all the way to 100%. Now, the first time I heard about this, it was at 99%. Anytime I hear about 21 Pilots news, I'm always at the part that I get the satisfaction of seeing what happens. I never go through the pain usually. The only time I've really gone through each individual process to get a new 21 Pilots release was with those codes in the Level of Concern kind of hunt. But before that, whenever Trench released, the band had gone on like a 3-year hiatus before they released Trench, and I had just stopped listening to the band after Blurryface, their previous album, before Trench, and the day I decided to listen to them again is when they finally dropped new music. I didn't realize they had gone on a hiatus for so long, so I basically instant gratification got new music, and everyone else had to suffer. So, of course, like usual, the bar is at 99% when I first find out about this, because it was trending on Twitter with hashtag 21Pilots and hashtag 21Pilots is back. So, the bar updates, nothing really happens. And some few kind of really weird accounts start to post stuff, and usually when cryptic accounts show up, that means that some stuff is going to happen, because it's usually the band behind these accounts. Now, we found out later that most of these accounts were fake, but that doesn't mean that they didn't provide information before we got it. The account at Blurryface, which is 100% run by the band, this has been proven. Last time they were active was 2017, when they were teasing tour dates and Trench stuff, and this is like the main cryptic account that the Pilots own. And this account, after not tweeting for 3 years, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, about 3 years, yeah, they tweeted in all caps, I'll send a screenshot if the tweet is still up, the new album name is Scaled and Icy. The fandom is freaking out at this point because they know this comes straight from the Pilots. But then again, I'm just going to be honest, Scaled and Icy kind of sounds trash. Like, pure dog water, if I am to go hip with this generation. That was really cringy. I did not mean to do that way, and I am going to cry. Hey, look, George Not Found is alive. Anyways, so me and my friend Ryan hopped in a Discord call to try to see what the hell was going to happen. We had stayed up all the way till midnight the night previous because that's when they were supposed to do something, but it turned out all these people were just trolling us and they weren't ever going to drop anything that night. But thankfully, we knew that something was going to happen at 12 p.m. the next day. So we jumped back in a call and we're like, okay, hopefully something actually happens. And then it did. So an account called Scaled and Icy, just spelled really weird, a screenshot up here, they tweeted a full resolution photo of the album cover. And then everyone started to freak out because many of the top tier 21 Pilots related news accounts started tweeting promotional images that they found on the website. So I'm talking posters and advertisements, all themed in this 80s retro kind of vibe. Everyone started freaking out. Scaled and Icy was everywhere, trending on Twitter. People were they were like, is this actually happening? So, but then this whole thing started to pop up about Psy is propaganda. Now, at this point is a joke to me because it's been said so much in the community over the past few weeks. weeks, days. So if you go to the Christmas Saves the Year cover, if you zoom in really, really close, people notice that it said Psy is propaganda. Then what they realized is that Scaled and Icy, if you take the first letter, S-A-I, Psy. Then they realized, a few months ago, the lead singer of 21 Pilots, Tyler Joseph, changed his profile photo to this. What's over his eye? A blue symbol. What is the main color scheme of this album? Blue. But also, that could be depicted as a weapon. That symbol kind of looks like a Psy, a weapon. It all kind of ties together. So then people started thinking the album was going to be called Clancy is Dead, because if you take Scaled and Icy and flip it around, you can get Clancy is Dead, and with no remainder letters. So people just started to assume that Scaled and Icy sounded dumb because it wasn't Scaled and Icy. It's Scaled and Icy. But then a website popped up before any of this really happened called scalendicy.com. This is when when Blurryface tweeted that scalendicy.com was found, and it depicted just a bunch of scales, and people were like, okay, so this is clearly run by them. But then, if you went to scalendicy.com/dragon, you would see this image. Now, if you are familiar with what's going on in the band, you'll know that this is basically the album cover of the new album. But Discord Click on Twitter announced that this website was actually fake and not run by the Pilots. People were like, oh, that really sucks. This looks like they put a lot of effort into it. But it turns out that is literally the album cover. That's the first time the image showed up, meaning that actually was run by the Pilots, and somehow Discord Click really got that wrong and really threw everyone for a spin, because if we really paid attention to the website, we would have figured this out a lot sooner. So after these promotional images come out, people start to think, well, since the album cover is clearly depicting the dragon image we saw on scalendicy.com, maybe we should look further into this website in case for some reason it isn't fake. People were starting to go kind of against what Discord Click was tweeting. Even though they should be a very reliable source, they just couldn't get out of their head that this image came from scalendicy.com first, and it is now the official album cover based on these promotional images. So then they started zooming on this cassette tape that was teased in one of these promotional posters, and they can make out a few of the titles, one of them being Shy Away. So they started testing these everywhere, keywords, logins to websites that were cryptic, anything they could do. Then, if you went to scalendicy.com/Shy Away, you would find an image of what seemed like a title to the song. Like, it showed this very ornate designed title to what definitely seemed like a song. Some people realized that definitely said Shy Away, and this is definitely a single. And then the cryptic account, which I showed up here, which has the weird spelling, they tweeted that something was going to happen Wednesday. Now, although this account was revealed to be fake and run by just a bunch of fans that are trying to really solve a theory regarding this album, the fact that they teased that it was going on Wednesday, like something was going to happen on Wednesday, they're the first ones who said that, and it still hasn't been explained how they got that information. So, although they aren't the Pilots, they're definitely getting this information from somewhere and are definitely figuring it out before everyone else. So Wednesday rolled around, and sure enough, Shy Away was released, their first single from their official album, Scaled and Icy, coming out May 21st. Wow. People really weren't expecting that something was going to happen. They really thought this was all just, like I said, a wild goose chase, but it really turned out that it wasn't. How is this single? Really, it is really good. My friend Ryan is a really, really huge music nerd. He knows everything about music. He's really good at doing music. He knows the nitty-gritties about everything, right? And when he listened to it, he said that this is, and I quote, the best 21 Pilots song ever. That's saying a lot coming from someone like Ryan, who really isn't a 21 Pilots fan, but looks at the music in a more critical way instead of really following all the lore. That's kind of crazy. This is a very good song, and like most 21 Pilots songs that release, I have to sit on it for a few days and listen to it for a few dozen times to actually start getting the hang of it. Usually on first listen, the song is okay, or just I don't agree with it. It's a very complex song. It has a completely different vibe from anything 21 Pilots has released before, with Blurryface being their darker, more sinister album, and Trench being this like resurgence into rebellion that is also still carrying this very dark and gritty vibe. And for them to just turn all of a sudden to this very retro and bright and pastel theme really kind of threw everyone for a spin, especially because this kind of sound has been really resonating with some artists like Dua Lipa and The Weeknd, who base two of their newest records kind of off of that sound, with The Weeknd having a little bit less of it, but still carrying a good amount of that in his LP After Hours. While Dua Lipa taking pretty much all of her songs and really giving them a retro twist on her recent LP, Future Nostalgia. So, Clearly, 21 Pilots is following some semblance of a trend here. We're not sure if the entire track list is going to have this retro, upbeat, pastel, I guess, sound, but this song really works for it. Shy Away has just such a good energy behind it and feels like an amazing teaser track for this album. The music video itself, very good, very much emulates that past retro feel, especially with the aspect ratio that they chose. What really did surprise me about this song, though, is the fact that 21 Pilots now has guitar. If you look in the music video, there is clearly guitarists, and in the background you can clearly hear guitar. This has never really been done in 21 Pilots history, okay? In fact, I remember like a year ago watching a video that said if 21 Pilots had guitar. There was a whole series of them putting into songs like The Hype and Heavy Dirty Soul and Message Man. All of these people just painstakingly putting guitar into these songs, and now 21 Pilots has it. It's like a puzzle piece that they added that I didn't even know I was missing, because it very much fits their style. Now, in the song, you can clearly hear Tyler kind of bringing it back to his roots with songs on Vessel like Ruby, where he really kind of implements this screamy rock sound into some of his songs. This was never really fully fledged into on Trench, I believe. It was a part of Tyler that I feel like he's kind of put away since Blurryface. And to see that part of him come back really, really kind of touched me as someone who's been listening to his music for quite a while. So overall, this song, very, very good. Really teasing something from 21 Pilots I was not expecting. And I'm really excited for this LP. Although running slightly short from what we can see, the track times are kind of lengthy, so this should be quite a compact but very meaty album. So hopefully you did enjoy this video. Are you excited for Skilled and Icy, as some of us are? I'm not sure who I'm referring to. Is there a demon in the room? I have no idea. That was a really bad joke, but honestly, my closet do be kind of looking cryptic though. Again, make sure to check out stepaside.com for all the merch. Really putting some effort into that and really trying to raise a few dollars for me and the family. So hopefully you did enjoy. Like and subscribe if you can. We're trying to reach 1K by the end of the year. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Nice try.